Hi everyone, my name is Wilson. Just call me Wilson, even though I have a Chinese name. Anyways, so how many of you have a Facebook account here? Can I have see if you have? Even a professor does. So just saying. Have you noticed how much time you spend on Facebook? A few weeks ago, my friend and her boyfriend has a huge fight because he was complaining about how the amount of time that she was using on Facebook and like social media to talk to other friends instead of spending time with him. And also, one of the good friends that I have for a very long time, he once told me that he does not appreciate the amount of time that I spend on my cell phone talking to other friends, while I'm hanging out with him. And there are many studies that shows that social media actually changed the way how people talk, how people communication and the relationship. And some articles suggest that it's a negative way. However, there are also many articles that shows that it is a beneficial way in a way that strengthens humans' relationship. First of all, social media improves relationship through online chatting. It creates a very relaxed environment without the pressure of face-to-face conversation. For example, when you talk to someone, when they look you at the eyes, somewhat, even though you're a confident person, you might, get that sense of, and sometimes that you might not be able to pick the exact word to express your feeling or what you're gonna say. However, social media, as in stepping behind a monitor, allows you to have a little bit, a second or so to kind of change your word and read over your sentence. And in another way, that actually polish your communication skill. In addition, it also create greater opportunities. There's only 24 hours in a day, and you have limited people. Which limited how many people that you see in a day and how many conversations you have in a day. However, with social media like Facebook and Instagram, it allows you to talk to other people even though they are not physically around you. Second of all, social media maintain weak relationships. It helps you to stay in touch with friends and family even though they are not around you. And also, a major event can be announced. If I'm looking for an internship, I can post it online so that I can post it on my social media. And if anyone knows any connection, it will actually help me to help me in preparing to that position. And also, pictures and video can be posted online to share your joy of the happy moment or sad moment when you failed that particular hard test and you need some comfort. You can always take a picture and show it online, and I'm sure your friend can will be able to come and comment on that. Also, it keep relationship regardless of distance. For myself, I immigrated here when I was little, and most of my family are still in China. So every now and then we'll always use a program called QQ. It's like a Skype where we can just webcam with my family in China and just go over what's going on. And I believe there are a lot of students who go to school out of state or out of country, and Skype is a perfect example. Where they can meet online instead of only phone call listening the voice, but with webcam you can actually see what they're doing, see the facial expression and how old they get and how many wrinkles they have. Last but not least, social media also simplifies the process of mass organization without unnecessary tangible meetings. Whenever you're trying to hold a big event, for example, when you're trying to plan a birthday and you want to try to invite people, the old days is, when I talk about old days, maybe before social media or before Facebook or Instagram is that active, that you would usually have to call, or only limited to the people around you, for example in school, if you have, but through social media, you'll be able to, set up a group page or in a way to invite all your friends into that page, so that they can be easily updated with what's going on, and also if you have any announcement, any quick location changes, and just it's easier to notify everybody within the group. And also through this page and keeping every updated with what's going on, it has it positively reinforce face-to-face conversation, and as in a way to encourage them to come meet you in this particular event. Overall, therefore, social media does not damage human relationship. In fact, it strengthens relationship through allowing conveniency and greater opportunity in communications. Thank you.
All right, Wilson, let's start with the stuff that's pretty solid. In the body of the speech, you have 3 secondary claims that you identify. They're actually written as declarative sentences. You present them. You've got numerical signposts on them, and I appreciated that. And you've got a lot of explanation of your arguments too, so I can understand the reasoning process that you're using, so that's helpful. And your presentation, I think you do a good job speaking to the audience. So those are all very solid kinds of things. There are, however, some big drawbacks. At the beginning of the speech, I don't know what your position is. You start off by saying, well, there are examples of my friends who fight over this sort of thing, so I know there's a controversy on it. And then you say studies show one thing, some studies show something different. Then there are other articles that reach this conclusion. So I know there's, some dispute on those sorts of things, but I don't know what position you're going to take until I'm listening to the secondary claims, and then I'm having to make the inference that this is really an advocacy that says that social media has some beneficial effect, that it is really worthwhile, that it's not the destructive force that people claim it is, it's actually a productive force. That should be clear at the beginning of the speech. At the end of the speech, you do have an exit that suggests that's what your proposition was, but I didn't think it was clear at the beginning at all. In the body of the speech, like I said, it was pretty well organized. Now, your proof, excuse me, this is something that I think is also a little bit problematic because you're relying primarily on hypothetical examples to illustrate these things. You do have a couple of personal examples that you use as well, but it's really subjected to these, what if scenarios. If your friends all get together with this group thing, then you could make potential plans. Well, do you have any examples of somebody who saved time or prevented a problem from that sort of thing occurring? That would be an actual example as opposed to a hypothetical example, and that would be a lot more useful. Where's the statistical information that suggests that people frequently use these kinds of approaches, that they run into fewer problems, that they're able to create a mass group meeting almost instantaneously using these social media? There are lots and lots of arguments that suggest that social media is driving a substantial amount of change in the world. You have places where protests are going on. The whole Arab Spring thing that happened a couple years ago began in Tunisia as a result of social media kinds of things. And a lot of people would say, well, there's a good example of something that's a positive force in the world. And basically all we get is party planning. And it's hypothetical party planning at that point too. So I think we need something a little bit more substantive than that. So although I think ultimately we get your claim, it should be clear at the beginning. It was well organized. The evidence, I think, is a little bit problematic. All right. Thank you.